Hi everybody, welcome back to another Deep Thoughts with Saya. Yes, today we are going to talk about another BarcroftTV documentary. This time we're going to talk about My Car is My Lover. Now, you've probably heard about these types of people who sexualize cars and apparently some other vehicles as well, including helicopters. You've probably heard of it. But so I watched this, and it was rather entertaining. Now, to each his own. I'm not going to fault these guys. That's what you find sexually attractive. Okay, that's fine. No harm, no foul there. It's an inanimate object, so, okay. I don't see it, but that doesn't matter. I don't have to see it. I kind of like my, sexual objects to be animated. But that's just me. Now, the reason why we're talking about this, or I should say why I'm talking about this, is because they interviewed two guys, one more so than the other. One who is older, I forget how old he was, but he was at least in his late 50s, probably early 60s, around that age frame. And the other one was he's 18 to 21 in that age frame. So, younger guy and an older guy. Now, the older gentleman, he's the interesting one. Now you might say, yeah, they're both kind of interesting, Saya. True, but the older one is the one who, even though you might call them both freaks, but there's nothing wrong with freaks. But the older one is I would call he's got issues. Why does he have issues? Not because he finds cars sexually attractive. Not because he has a relationship with his Volkswagen Bug. But because he can't keep it in his pants. He is basically a whore. Yes, a whore. He's a whore. Well, not even just that, really. I mean, let's put it this way. I'm glad with the urges that he has that he cannot control at all, which is very evident in this documentary. I am glad that what he finds exclusively sexually attractive is inanimate objects. I am glad that he doesn't find women attractive. I'm very glad that he doesn't want to have sex with women. Because this guy, like I said, he can't keep it in his pants. Random vehicles, other people's automobiles, he will kiss and caress and masturbate onto. Actually, have sex with other people's cars, not just his own. He technically cheats on his own car. He cannot contain himself. What they did was, these two guys, the young guy and the older guy, they met on a forum. That's how they met. But they'd never met in real life. So what they decided to do, what Barcroft decided to do, was, take a trip, take a drive, and have them meet each other at a car show. And this whole time, this whole trip, they would, stop places, and he would see a vehicle that he just found so alluring that he just could not stop himself. In public and daylight time, he was caressing and kissing these vehicles and talking, dirty to them. That weren't his. They weren't his vehicles. They were other people's vehicles. And then even BarcroftTV's their rented vehicle, this SUV. They rented an SUV. In the middle of the night, they caught him on camera doing this car. He couldn't stop himself. He did not care. It was all about him. He had to do this. He could not tell himself no. He could not deny himself the pleasure. Now, when they finally meet up, this younger guy, his car, unfortunately, was not going to make the trip. So he had to get this like Trans Am or some shit. I don't really know what kind of car it was. It was an older Trans Am-ish kind of vehicle. And the older guy, in the middle of the night, let's just say it, raped his car. He raped his car. This guy he just met that he knows is into the same shit he is. So there's a possibility that he might be very possessive of this vehicle, that this is his vehicle. But he just goes and does it. And the next day gets the guy to join him in washing their vehicles. So maybe this young guy won't notice that he had sex on or with his car the night before. Of course, Barcroft, smart guys, I don't know, there could have been gals, I don't know. They videotaped it. They got it all on videotape. Now, mind you, end of the video, the young guy, is like, "Did you have sex in the car?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like, okay. He didn't care. I kind of care. I would personally care. But whatever. Now, when they get to that car show, it's, a classic car show. It's not a huge one, but it's not like the one we have in Florida, the Turkey Route Run. But there's quite a few really nice classic cars. Now, if you know anything about people and their classic cars, like with the one specific one was a Corvette, like it was a yellow Corvette, really classic, really nice, really well maintained. And it's the middle of the day, and all these people there, and he goes over to it and starts caressing it. He's got a fucking hard on while he's doing this, with all these people around. Now, I was waiting for, but it never happened, but I was waiting for the owner of this car to be like, "Stop touching my car." I mean, if that's your baby, that's your car, your classic car, the Corvette that you have taken care of and restored and maintained, and you're here showing it off, and somebody is just caressing and touching your car excessively, I think you'd be a little bit irritated by that to begin with. Number one, that's not your property, that's my property. Get your hands off my property. But not just that. The way he is caressing with a hard-on and touching and fondling the car, how did the owner of this car not go apeshit on his ass? Seriously. I mean, I'm sorry, one day this gentleman is going to, maybe we'll see it on the news, maybe we won't, but one day he's going to caress or fondle or try to have sex with the wrong person's car. And he's going to get his ass beat. But you know what? He kind of deserves it. I mean, I'm not going to advocate violence towards anybody, but I would understand it. I would not be surprised by it. And seriously, I know this is an inanimate object, but this is why I say I'm glad that he finds inanimate objects sexually attractive, not real life women. Because obviously, if he was actually attracted to and wanted to have sex with real life women, this would be a problem. If he cannot keep it in his pants, if he cannot have any self-control whatsoever, just imagine the shit he'd do if he was attracted sexually to real-life women. So thank God that he's not. Thank God he's got vehicles. Now I find it really funny. He never once said the word rape that I remember. But I found it really odd. The young guy who was not so obsessive, just, he really liked his cars. But you never saw him messing with his cars or with anybody else's cars. He does have sex with his he has a Volkswagen Beetle as well as his main car, the one that broke down. He does say that he has sex with it, but, he was maintained and, oh geez, I can't even think of the word at the moment in time. But he behaved himself, let's just say. He realized that he was on camera and he behaved himself. And he didn't go... He was able to say no to himself, I suppose would be it. But he, actually later in the video, remarked about raping cars. Called it raping cars. And he's the one who seems more well-adjusted. That he can actually contain himself and not rape cars. But the other guy never talked about it in that way. He talked about it like he thinks of them not just as sexual objects, but he thinks romantically towards them and lovingly towards them. That he writes poetry and sings songs to his car. But then he technically rapes his car and other people's cars. I mean, yeah, it's not rape. It's an inanimate object. They can't say yes or no. They have no feelings. It's just metal or plastic, depending on the car, or fiberglass, or carbon fiber, whatever. You know what I'm saying. But I mean, they're calling it rape. That young man's calling it rape. So, I don't feel too bad using that term in this thing, since that's what he's calling it. But Jesus, what the fuck? And then they asked the young guy, when you look at this other guy, and you realize that this is what you might end up as, how do you feel about that? He was fine with it. Absolutely fine with it. Turning into an old, sick, perverted... There are no words. There's just no words. At least none that I can come up with at this moment in time, because, these are my deep thoughts. I'm not actually, writing this shit down and planning out what I'm saying. I'm just talking. But anyway, so that's what this video is about. Thanks for watching. Bearing with me. I will link that video in the description in case you want to see this insanity for yourself. I don't get shocked at much, people, but my jaw dropped. So yeah, it might actually be worth a watch for you, if nothing else, to give you some shock in your life, or make you just laugh your ass off. I don't know. Anyways, okay. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.